Last week we showed you the guys on Hanover Park, Cape Town, preparing for Tokyo. And this time, something very different. Actually, we are in Tokyo, Japan, the World Youth Kyokushin Championships. Warriors, what's there specifically for you?
Welcome to Japan, home of the bullet train, mind-blowing electronics, and exotic martial arts styles. It was here in the metropolis of Tokyo where a group of young South African karatekas had come on a once-in-a-lifetime chance to compete in the biggest World Youth Karate Championships to date. The group, comprising of 5 boys and girls from the Ruyterwacht and Hanover Park dojos in Cape Town and 2 from Polokwane in the Limpopo province, were already hard in training the day before here in the Ikebukuro district of Tokyo. Under the watchful eye of the coach, Sensei Dean Daniels, as well as Southern Africa chairman of the International Karate Organization of Kyokushin Kaikan, Chian Kenny Eitenborgert, the team makes ready for day 1 of this 2-day international tournament. It's an hour bus ride to the stadium where over 24 countries will arrive, with Russia leading the pack just after Japan in the world rankings. Some teams are nervous, not knowing what to expect, and the South Africans are no exception. It's a far cry from home as thousands of spectators gather outside the venue to support this Kyokushin Karate tournament, a national sport that has made Japan proud the world over. A last-minute call-up and it's time for the official opening ceremony. An awesome moment, one that the South African team will not forget soon, as the drum marks the official beginning of this 2-day extravaganza of knockdown karate. Tournament director and official heir to the Kyokushin Empire, Kancho Matsui, has the honor of declaring the 3rd International Youth Karate Championships officially open. A spectacular mass demonstration bodes well for what every single one of these competitors had come to Japan for, the ultimate test in strength, skill and endurance in what has become known as the strongest karate. The warm-up area, and it's here where the skill of these young karatekas becomes apparent. From as young as the age of 5, it's not the exception, but the norm. The South Africans too waste no time getting into gear as they warm up for their kumite session. It's extremely important to have the right mindset once you walk onto the floor and face your opponents. In the meantime, an anxious Marilee Smith gets ready for her bout, Coach Dean Daniels nearby giving the necessary support and encouragement. As the arena gets busy with 10 floors running at the same time, it's imperative to stay focused on the task at hand, that is, to win. Jonathan Solomon's on the right drew the lot against Iran's Mohammad Kami in the first bout for the South African team. Full contact blows are allowed to the body with punches and kicks, but only kicks are allowed to the face and head. Another reason why this type of karate is not for the faint-hearted, where only the toughest survive. A good attempt there by Jonathan to keep his Iranian opponents at bay, but the pressure kept piling on with numerous points gained by the Iranian with well-placed kicks and punches. With just 10 seconds to go, the bout draws to a close, with Jonathan bravely holding on to the very end. The end whistle and time to collate the score with the 4 corner referees. It's unanimous as the decision signifies the exit from the competition for 16-year-old Jonathan. The Iranian goes through to the next round, the end of the road for the South African. It's all over as a relieved yet disappointed Jonathan holds his head up high. On the other end of the floor, Marelise Franken readies herself for the 15 to 17-year-old girls sparring division, while Matipa Makura stands by with coach Dean Daniels for his turn. Compulsory headgear and a last-minute check for Marelise Smith. She's up next. Facing a Japanese opponent is always a daunting task, but it's a good start for Marelise on the left as she starts putting pressure on her local opponent from the beginning.
Njengobetshilo kaloku vele uMarelise ngowalapha eMzantsi Afrika, siyabona into yobana kaloku uyayixhimfa le ntombazana yaseJapan. Kaloku ndiyakhumbula into yobana ngelaa xesha nam ndandithatha inxaxheba kwiitumente zekarati, ubuthi xa uzawuqobisana nabantu abavela eJapan, woyike ungcangcazele ufune nokuthi hayi wena awusayi kuloo tournament. Kodwa ke ngoku umgangatho nezinga lekarati apha eMzantsi Afrika lixhomile. Kangubana just why sikwazi ubana sihambe siye eJapan siyothatha inxaxheba kwiitumente zabo, sibabonisa into yobana nathi siyawazi lo mdlalo wekarati.
The end of the match, and an exhausted Marelise awaits the final decision. The Japanese girl also showing signs of a tough bout. 1, 2, 3, and the decision goes to Marelise Smith, the first of a number of wins for the South African team. A well-earned rest as the coach explains the implications of the win. Marelise must prepare soon again for another bout. Matiba Makura from Polokwane is now ready and set to go against his Japanese opponent.
Kaloku Matiba yena kaloku siyamazi into yobana ngamadodana amabini nje kuphela asuka ePolokwane aze kule tumente ilapha eJapan. Iteam yonke iyacaca into yobana kaloku yona isuka phaa kweliya lase-Western Cape. Kodwa ke kaloku kolu luhlu lwamadodana angaphansi kwama-50 kilograms, uMotiba nake uyazama ukubonisa into yobana nam kaloku ndizofunda apha. Benditshilo kaloku phaa ngaphambili into yobana xa uza eJapan ubusoyika kakhulu. Ndiyambona ke uMotiba Makura apha wasePolokwane uba ingathi uyoyika ngoba le ndodana yaseJapan ingathi noko iyamongamela, nako ke ekhatywa kwakhona kanobomi apha entloko kakhulu. Ewe bonke ke nabantu abajonge umdlalo bayamnika lo mlo kaloku bawunika lo mfana waseJapan. Kodwa ke umlo uyaqhubekeka, sazi ke noba uMotiba uzawubona ntoni na, uyaphela ke umlo ngolo hlobo.
On standby for her first bout is 15-year-old Marelise Franken, the officials making sure that all safety precautions are adhered to, including chest protector, head guard and shin pads. Not without reason is Marelise a bit nervous. Can she notch up another win for South Africa? As the round comes to an end, it's time to put all the months of training to the test. Fight, says the referee as Marelise gets down to brass tacks, wasting no time in scoring valuable points with some clever footwork circling her way around her Japanese opponent.
Njengoba lokhu sitsho naye uvelen uMarelise kaloku omnye weqela lapha eMzantsi Afrika. Bekhona lokhu omnye uMarelise noko yena ungathi umdadlana. Lona uMarelise kaloku naye uyabonisa into yobana isakhono sakhe salapha eMzantsi Afrika noko siyaphakama izinga laso. Kwaye uyayibonisa le njwakazi yaseJapan into yobana nam ndisuka eMzantsi Afrika ndifuna ukuphumelela apha kulo mncitshiswano. Kaloku siyambona ezama makhe sive ke.
Decision time as the match finishes. The centre referee checks with all 4 corner referees. Yes, it's a win for Marelise Franken, and almost as if she expected it, the joy of her victory sinks in a bit later. Coach Dean is a happy man, albeit for the moment, with 2 wins and 1 lost fight so far on day 1 of this international event. While the trip to Japan was a dream come true for the team with the help of a sponsor, training preparations were not always easy back home in Hanover Park.
Whilst we were organizing and making arrangements for the trip and to ensure that we had everything in place, whilst talking to the instructor, gunshots were heard in the background, And when I asked the instructor, Dean, what is happening? He said, as always, there's shots being fired. As shots have been fired, everybody sits down on the ground, as he explained to me. Now, we brought children from that environment, bringing them away from that, introducing them to a culture where people have got absolute respect for each other in this whole total karate environment. The culture, the Japanese culture, is also extremely respectful, disciplined, and everybody is making an effort to get to know the different cultures of the different countries that are participating at this tournament. So we have exposed a group of children, taking them from that environment, that highly volatile environment, bringing them here where they feel respected, they feel appreciated, they feel they're part of the world. They don't feel fear, they don't feel that they have to hide. They have expressed themselves, and we're so grateful for that. And it gives them some sense of there is a reason and there is something positive for them.
Watch next week for more full contact karate action in our Warriors trip to the Far East.
Extraordinary.